Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Tinker77. We're back on the All the Mods 10 to the Sky world. And I'm standing over near where we have a lot of our sieving production. And you notice some things have changed. And I'm going to talk to you about what we're going to do today and why it's changed currently. So let's get started here. I removed all the item cables and the power cables, and I've emptied out all the barrels. That's all stored now in these chests, which is fine because I want to move these. What I'm going to do today is I don't want this. This was never meant to be like the home for this all. I'm going to move this all down below into the cave. And I've got to get these three. There's, three different resources basically: gravel, sand, and dust. But there's other things we really need to get to, like soul sand. You can get different materials from soul sand. There's also some other materials which I really want to get. So today it's going to be focused on getting various resources sieved and getting us more and more of what we need. And I believe there's at least what, maybe 8 to 10 different types. So I'm going to try to work on this today. But first, I want to get this moved down into the cave. So around the corner down in the cave is where we have this little spot, this little pocket. And I'm going to make some towers here because obviously you saw that they were vertical that I did upstairs up on the surface. So I'm going to put these right here. So if you look, I have the sieves and we're just going to set that again. It'll be right here and do the same thing that we did before, setting this up like this. Now, power. How are we going to do power? Well, I have this right here, which is the pipe, the energy pipe, and I have a flux point. And I'm going to put this at the top when we get this done. But the flux point will then power all of these sieves. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have the source be up top. I'm going to have barrels for that as well. So we can have things piped into it directly. I'm trying not to use as many of the pipes as I can. So let me build up these towers. One thing I think we're going to need here is some sort of pusher upgrade for the barrels that I have up on top. And it says that the hopper upgrade, it says pulls items from a block on top and or pushes them to the block below. So I think pushing is what I want. I'm not sure what the difference is faster. And I'm not sure if we need to have it be very fast, but maybe we should. But let's go with this first. We need to have these. We need to make some hoppers. So let's do that real quick. There's 3 hoppers. And I just lost the whole thing. So it's a hopper upgrade, right? There we go. Let's look at that. And I should have the 3 bases already in me. Okay, we got 3 of those. Now, what is the other thing? We got lots of resources. Let's see if we can make this. Looks like we just need to make some droppers. Okay. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we should be able to make 3 of those. And we have 3 of those upgrades. Let's go down and hook these up. Well, I got down here. I don't think I actually need these because I put the item in here and it went down into here, on down here, and it looks like it already sieved it up. So I thought I might need the pushers, but I guess not. It'll just pull right from the inventory, which I guess makes sense. So if let's do another one here. Let's do 8 here. It should just disappear. And there it goes. And see, it's going through the whole sieving process. So yeah, this will work great. It should appear out here with whatever it got from the 8 pieces of cobble here. Just a second. There we go. We got some, I guess, iron nuggets. So I don't need those upgrades. Great. Okay, so we know that these are working. Now I gotta get items into these, gotta get cobblestone into these. And I really don't want to use pipes if I can. So I might use something different. I'm wondering if I could use something like modular routers. I don't know if it'll keep up with the right speed, though. That's one thing I want to check out, but I want to learn. So I'm going to try to set up modular routers, having a cobble generator maybe back on this wall or some other place along the wall so that I can then just pipe it into these barrels here, or rather, I should say wirelessly put them into the barrels here, and the system should then work. That's the plan anyway. Now this side over here, I put this flux point temporarily. We're going to use this side for soul sand, but which also, in a way, comes from cobblestone. So I want to get these 3 first working, and then we'll build that up. Let's figure out modular routers. Let's build out what I think we need for the modular routers. We're first of all going to need a modular router, and that takes a blank modules, these 6 here, and then we're going to create the modular router. Apparently, I'm out of the iron bars, so we'll do that. And this should get us the modular router. This is the main device, and then what you do is you add things to it, okay? So if you think about it, I need to pull items out like the cobblestone. So we're going to need a puller module, which means we need a piston here. And we need to make it a sticky piston. That makes sense because they want to pull. And then we'll grab the puller module. So now this is what gives us the ability to pull in items into the router. So this is cobblestone coming in. Now, I want to do a lot of pulls, and I think you can do up to 6 of these stack upgrades. So it looks like I'm going to need to make the blank upgrades, and I'm going to need probably double of that. So that's 8 And we're going to need, uh-oh, looks like we're going to need some clay because I know I don't have any bricks in here. So let's get some clay and let's see, 2, 3, 4. We just do that many. And we need to get bricks, right? So over here, this will be very quick. I'm going to put it into here and I notice it's not pulling in, but that's okay because I just take this out really quick and you can see it's pulling in. And now we have bricks. It's very easy to do. And then let's see, put that back and grab our clay or bricks. Sorry. All right, now that I have that, we can make up these stack upgrades. We should make, I think we can do 6 at a time. I think that's what it says. If I look at it, I press I, it says max useful is 6. And apparently I put a lot of I's in here. The I's have it. There you go. Anyway, so now we have working with stacks. And then what we want to do is we want to make a distributor. A distributor takes 3 Mark II senders, and a Mark II sender is basically a Mark I sender with a pearl. So we need 3 Mark I senders. And it looks like to do that, we need to have 3 more pistons. So 3 pistons. And then we need to make 3 senders. There we go. And now the Mark II senders takes Mark I and pearls, which we have in our inventory. So now we have 3 senders. And then we need to have the distributor. And I think that's all we need for this system. Let's go downstairs and hook this up. Near the back here, I've got a cobblestone generator and a storage drawer with a copper upgrade. So it goes up to 16.4 thousand cobble. We're going to put the modular router right on top of that. Okay. And what I like to do first, like I said, is I want to pull from the bottom. So let's go to the puller module. And basically, I'm going to look here. I want to pull from the bottom. Now, I don't need to do any filtering because the only thing it can pick up will be the cobblestone. So now if I put this in here, the puller module into the module set. You can see it's pulling one at a time. But if I add these 6, it's just boom, it pulls a whole stack. So I think we're good there. So now we have to get it out of here into our places that we want to go. And I want to go up to these 3 barrels. Now I'm going to do a shift right click on each one. So there's one. You can see it put a little like thing right there. And I suppose I could just go right directly to here, but I like the idea of having like a buffer before it goes into the system. But now that I have all 3 of those places marked, I should be able to go into here and put in this module. And you can see it starts to send little bits of cobble out, and it looks like it's probably sending stacks at a time. They're being just added in really quick. And so it's going to keep doing this as much as it can. So now we have cobble being distributed to our towers, and it's going to be going through and doing all of our filtering and sieving. And that's amazing. So now I need to figure out this last side right here, which is going to be for soul sand, because soul sand you get from cobblestone. My idea is I'll be getting cobblestone and make it all the way down to basically sand, and then use haunting to get it to become soul sand. Let me figure that out. Let's put down what I know I want first. I know I want to have a barrel, sophisticated storage barrel. I know I want it to be a gold barrel, just like the others. That's spruce wood, but that doesn't matter. There's oak. And then I do want to have on top of this a sieve. There we go. And I know I didn't put it down here, but this needs a mesh. And I don't have it here. I made it. I don't know what I did with that. Probably put it back in the inventory. But that's the basic idea. Now, going into this, we need soul sand. And from soul sand, we got to have some other structure or something that I don't know how we're going to do it quite yet. I need to figure this out, and that's what I'm trying to do. But I know that this part is pretty easy, sieving soul sand. One of the things I know we're going to need here is we're going to need an oak drawer, which is our output of the soul sand for the process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the drawer down here. I'm going to put in some soul sand, and then I'm going to use a configuration tool on it to lock it. You can see it's got the little padlock icon right there. That means that even if this is empty, which it is now, it still retains what it can hold. And that's the key for this filtering process. I just made a soul campfire because I have soul sand, and this is going to be used part of the haunting. So now we got to get into some create. You're going to need to have a fan. So let's see if we can make a fan really quick. It looks like this, and this might be the hardest part. We need to make shaft, which we need andesite alloy, which we need. There's a bunch of that. Let's just, get a bunch. And let's see, where'd the fan go? Where did it go? There it is. Encased fan, we need to make an andesite alloy here. This is going to be an interesting way to do this. How do you do it? Probably manually. You have to have a log and you put it on there. Okay, let's get a log. So it doesn't really matter, but let's choose something we have a lot of. So let's do like 4 of these. And I think it just says you just take the andesite alloy on it, right? Let's see if this works, if I'm correct. No, do I have to do this first and then do it? There we go. Yes. So you have to use the axe on them first, and then you can use the andesite alloy. Great. Okay, so we have that. And so now we should be able to make this fan, I hope. Well, no, we got to get the blade for it. So, that's not what I wanted. And let's just go bookmark this. How about that? Okay, there we go. We're gonna make some shafts, and we need to make the blade. Now we got andesite alloy. We need iron plates. Iron plates is just iron with your hammer, right? So, and we have a hammer, I think, but it's easy to make. And so with that and iron, I don't have any ingots. Oh yeah, I do. What am I talking about? There we go. There's our 4 plates. And so now we should be able to make the fan or the blade first, propeller, and then the fan. All right, so now we have that. So really what we need to do is we need to have a power source for this fan, and usually a water wheel is good. So we'll probably do like a water wheel here. There we go. And we have some more of these shafts, and we probably need to convert the direction here. So we probably need a gearbox. Okay. And a gearbox is, what is that, 4 cogwheels? So there we go. And back to gearbox again. And what I'm thinking about is we're going to make this so that it goes from vertical, so that we want to have that. And then we need some more shafts just in case. And I think we only have 2. Let's make some more. I think that's pretty much all we need. Um, maybe. I gotta figure this out. Let me go take a look and start to assemble this, what I'm thinking in my head, and maybe we gotta get some more stuff. So the output of the process that makes the soul sand I'm gonna have over here. My intention is to have a modular router, just like we do here, sending to a drawer or barrel that's right here. So that we know how to do that. That's easy. So now I want this side to figure out what we're gonna do here, and I'm gonna try to dig back in here a little bit. I'm thinking that the flame would be right about here. And so the fan would have to be over up behind it, right over here. And then we'll have to get a water wheel hooked up. But I want this to be here. So here is the blank space. Here will be where the soul campfire is. Here is where the fan is. And then back here is where the shaft would be. And I want to have a space maybe down here. I could do it right here, actually, where I have water um, and a water wheel. So yeah, let's figure this out here. That's what I want that to be. Let's do this. And let's go ahead and put down the water wheel. This is just me just thinking while I do it, right? Okay, so that'll be there. And then we want to have water. I need to get a bucket to see which way it turns. And then it's going to have a shaft. Wait, let's make here. This is the, whatever you call it, the spot. Here's the fire. Here's the fan. The gearbox would be right here. So we'd have a shaft on top of this. So let me go get the bucket and see if I can get this part at least working. For this drawer, I've made a collector upgrade, which I put in there, and you can see it collected 12 of the soul sand. Let me grab that out. And now let's drop this down here again. And you can see it disappears right away, the soul sand. And that's what we want to see. It gets it up there and picks it up. Now, of course, it should not pick up sand because it can't. So sand, I imagine, will be dropping down in this spot. And then when it gets converted, it gets picked up by the drawer. Okay, so now let's get down here. Let's put the water down. Let's put it right here. And is it not going to move it? Let's go put it right here. There we go. So now this is turning. At least it was. Why is it not? I have one source. Very strange. I don't know what's going on here. It should start to turn that. Let's go take a look and dig this out a little bit more because it should go work the whole entire way. Maybe water's being moved someplace or doing something weird. No, it looks like it should work. Oh, I probably know what I have to do. I probably have to, well, first of all, I need a space to get out of here. You probably have to put a blocker block like this, and then you put this down like that, and now it will continue to run. That's probably what I was doing wrong. In fact, I know that's what I was doing wrong. So let me, oh, not, that's a blocker. Don't want that. Let's fill in these spots here. Okay, so now it's turning, and we don't know if it's turning in the right direction. So let's just see if it works. We put that there. We have a vertical gearbox. We'll change the motion to a different direction. And then we put the fan, and if the fan And the fan is blowing correctly. It's pushing us this way. So that's good. So now if I put this campfire here, okay, that should work. And then if anything gets dropped down, so let's throw this out here. Those are those 2 pieces of sand. They're not being picked up right now, but they are being basically turned into soul sand. And as soon as they appear as soul sand, they should be disappear. And now we should have 14 in here. Excellent. Okay, so that system is working fine. I can just cover that up right there. So now I got to figure out how to get basically sand. And we know how to get sand. Is it this side? Maybe. So basically it is a sieve and basically 2 of the hammers and an output. And I can just do that in a stack that's kind of behind this wall right here and then have the modular router sent to it. So let me build that up. All right, I imagine we're going to have a chute right here. This will then drop the items out of a storage. And I think I then put on a sieve right here. And I'm going to actually haul this out. And if you look, I'm running out of room. I think I'm going to hit the surface here. So I might have to do some terraforming here in a minute, but that's okay. So I want to have power on this other side, though. That's what I'm trying to get at. So we have power here and probably power there. And apparently there's a watering trader up there. Let's get rid of this spot. So on top of here, we want to have the sieve, which will sieve sand down to, well, yeah, sand. No, we don't need a sieve at all, do we? We just need hammers. What am I thinking here? So what I need to do is I need to have a hammer taking gravel to sand. And then we need, oh, I did that while I was in the way. I meant to do it up here. So if we have a hammer going from gravel to sand, and then the hammer going from cobble to gravel. So that's all we need there. And then on this side, we just need to get a flux point to give power to these things. So let's do that. We'll put, actually, I can put this anywhere I want and maybe not have to terraform at all. Let me put that right here. And we're going to set that up. I need to get an upgrade in here, which I'll go get in a second. And that should be powering both of those items. And I think, get rid of this too. I think that I can have this distributor going directly to that location. So it'll be cobble, gravel, going to sand. So let's go and see if I can do that real quick. I'm going to take out the distributor here, which is right here. And I'm going to now shift click on all of these locations again. Oh, wrong one. Okay, it has all 3 of those. And I want to see if I can put it to this block. I think I can. And so then if you put this back into here, it's sending it up to here. That's amazing. Now I need to get a hammer so I can change the output of these going downward, but then it should go into this thing. Now let's see what this guy has really quick. Don't care, don't care, don't care. None of this is really important, so no big deal. Okay, let me get a couple pieces here to finish this upgrade, and hopefully this will be working fairly soon, and then I can do the modular upgrade of this. This hole is near the bridge, which is right there. So let's go into this right here. We're going to set this to max power. There we go. We're going to come down here. We're going to get rid of these guys here in a second. I do want to put in the upgrades here. So this will process faster, and this one will process faster. And now we got to set these. So again, we did this in the last episode. You can actually shift and change it to down. And this one can be down. So now it should be going through fine. Let's see if there's stuff going into here. We don't have any energy yet. I don't know why. Oh, because I haven't put this to the network. Let's do that. Set the network. There we go. And now these things should be gathering energy, which means this one should be working. And there I saw sand dropping out. You can see it down there. So we have 14 right now. And in just a second, it should be more than 14. There it goes. Just like that, we have resources coming in. All right, now that this works, and I know it works directly, I'm going to put in a modular router right here. Okay, so let's do that. And this is going to then pull from here and transmit directly into this, right? So let's look at the puller. And we know that this direction I'm going to go this way is west. So we're looking at the puller module. We want to go to the left as on. And let's see if that works by pulling. Pulling soul sand, great. And we'll do stack upgrades. So it gets as much as possible. Just like that. Now it pulled, it's in here. Now I need to get the distributor, and this is wirelessly done. So I'm going to shift, right click on here, and then put this into here. And there we go. Soul sand is being delivered, and this thing is working, and it should be. There we go. We're getting another warp. We're getting other resources from the soul sand. That's what I wanted to see. Now, see, this probably can't keep up, and that's fine. It'll just do what it needs to do when it needs to do it. And this is distributing the cobblestone. You'll see every so often it fires and sends cobblestone where it needs to go. So this is the tower of I guess everything related to cobblestone. We have gravel being done, we have sand, we have dust, and on the backside, we have soul sand, thanks to the mechanism that we made over here, which is the, water wheel and the, soul campfire. Now, my intention is, and I don't think I'm gonna have time for it today, was I'm gonna put another tower here for some more of the resources that we generate, another stack, but getting them from other types, because I know that we can work with an extractor. The extractor looks like this right here. Let me bookmark it, and let's say it's used for, and you can get various things. Basically, if you have a budding amethyst in water, you can get amethyst, or you can get various ores here. But the nice thing is, you can get other things that you want, like the basalts and the blackstones and other things that we can do, and then those sieve down into other resources. So that's probably what's going to go on in the next episode, making another tower. But this is all running off of wireless power now. I'm not running as many pipes around, just modular routers. And I know there's a way, I haven't researched it yet, but I know there's a way to get and hide the laser beams. But I kind of like the laser beams actually. So let's really quick before I go, let's go and check out how much power we are using and make sure the power system is still topped off. If it's consuming more power, then we may have to do something with power generation. And the way I do that is fall off the ladder. No, the way I do that is to go over, look at the flux network, and you can see here that I have, this is the gargantuan flux storage we made in the last episode, and it's maxed out. Now, see, it took out a little bit, but then it backfilled that really easily. So we're not having any troubles with power, and that's amazing. Anyway, guys, that's all I got time for today. I sure hope you liked this video. If you did, please click that like button. If you have any comments, put them down in the comment section. And if you'd like to be notified of the videos I produce, please subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to hit that little bell icon so you get all the notifications. All right, guys. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.